and welcome. So, I'm just going to jump into my second project in this video, which is for the operational technology cyber gap assessment in the energy sector. This was not just about finding vulnerabilities, it was about doing it in a way that respected the systems keeping the lights on. So, the context of this project is the operation technology, the system that controls turbines, substations, and power grids that are built for stability. You can't just reboot them or patch them like a regular IT server. So, my goal was to assess the organization's cybersecurity posture, benchmark it against NIST 800-82 and the NIST, which is called NIST Cybersecurity Framework, and building a remediation roadmap that balanced safety with business continuity. This meant working within tight constraints, protecting infrastructure without disrupting it. And what was my role and responsibility in this project? So as the lead on this project, I handled both the technical aspect and the stakeholder coordination. I started by gathering architectural diagrams, asset inventories, and firewall rule sets. And also, I had collaborated with the other departments that were responsible to handle, especially in the IT department, the firewalls, and other security infrastructures. And not only that, there were other departments that I actually had collaborated with, but mainly was the IT. Then I ran SQL queries on exported logs to analyze user access patterns, looking for things like shared credential or repeated login attempts from the same account. So every issue I found was documented in a tool. Here I like to mention that I used before in my previous project as well, which is Excel. Mainly, I used Excel to monitor the control register, and it included a control reference mapped to NIST functions, description of the gap, root cause, control maturity level, and risk ratings, and recommended action. Once the register was built, I imported it into RSA Archer for live tracking. So each gap became a ticket assigned to the right team. Archers actually is a great tool. Again, I used it in my previous project. It's mainly used for developing purpose and for administrating other duties like to check the user access for operation purposes, for audit purposes. So Archer workflows automation made it easy to follow up. Status updates were visible to everyone, and accountability was built into the process. So, what was the major challenge that I found in this project? Aligning priorities. Engineering teams were focusing on uptime, keeping systems running without interruptions. IT teams, on the other hand, were focusing on patching and security enforcement. And this is actually identical to my previous project. So to bridge that gap, I organized a joint workshop and used Archer dashboard to visually rank each gap by both risky severity and potential operational impact. That transparency helped shift the conversation. A team realized that action, rotating default credentials, or security remote vendor access could be done safely without affecting uptime. So, like mentioned in this project, the tools that I used were again similar to my previous project: SQL, Excel, the Power BI to visualize control maturity and remediation, RSA Archer for the workflow automation and risk tracing, and also I like to mention to upload my evidence to show to my clients, to the stakeholders, and also NIST 800-82, NIST CSF, and the Purdue model. So, which is used as the guiding framework for both technical and governance alignment. So this combination helped me turn a static review into a living, collaborative roadmap. So what was the result and what was the impact? So with this assessment, so I uncovered 22 control gaps, including again 7 related to outdated remote access credentials, 6 tied to unsegmented network zones, 5 involving inconsistent incident response documentation, and 4 concerning vendor system maintenance oversight. So within the first quarter, 14 of those gaps were fully remediated. That included enforcing role-based access and updating change management procedures. So Archer was a great help in reporting, and it showed a 40% improvement in control maturity, which is why a lot of businesses I've noticed using this tool. It can empower you in many ways to collect the necessary information and to use it for either operational task, whether it's for the user access or to check the auditing trail. And the findings directly supported organizations' next audit cycle. So it really helps in the auditing, especially when you're doing before the actual audit comes, you can do the internal audit for the client. And then it gives you the chance to collaborate with that department of the auditing to avoid any failures in compliance and in audit. So from this project, what was the lesson learned and what will be the advice? This project reminded me of something simple but powerful. Cybersecurity is a team effort, and I have mentioned it earlier before in my previous project as well. Team effort is the key. Framework give you structure, but collaboration gives you resilience. If you are leading a project in a critical environment, here's my advice: learn to speak both languages, the operational and technical. Use dashboard to turn debate into visibility, and never underestimate the power of empathy across teams. It's often the key to reducing risk, and it's healthy for the team morale. So, in the closing, I would like to say leading this assessment taught me that cybersecurity leadership is not just about control, it is about balance. Balance between safety and progress, between uptime and accountability, between technical precision and human collaboration. In environments like energy and utilities, that balance is not optional, it is essential. Because when systems are too critical to fail, your approach has to be both resilient and respectful. This project reminded me that the real win is not just closing those gaps that you find in your project, in your task. It's building trust across teams and creating a roadmap that people believe in. So thanks for watching my video and for giving me the chance to share my experience and this work. and I see you in my next project.